Hey guys, Stanford here from the Robotics Network, and welcome back to FUNalysis, and today we're going to be taking a look at finals match number 1 from the San Diego Regional. In this match, we have two incredibly well-matched alliances on either side of the field, with the number 1 seed alliance in red using a triple offense strategy against the blue alliance, who's using a 2 offense, 1 defense strategy. This was an incredibly close match with only 2 points being the margin of victory, so you're going to be seeing all the little things that swung the difference in this match. You're going to be seeing how algae is coming into play, a very interesting endgame strategy from the blue alliance, so stay tuned for a look at this incredibly close, incredibly exciting regional finals match in this episode of FUNalysis. Alright folks, so just get into this match. Autonomous doesn't really go very well on either side of the field, as you're going to see. The Patrobots over here on the Blue Alliance side really they stop moving inexplicably after Autonomous starts, and so they eventually get this figured out, but for some reason, they aren't able to put up their usual autonomous output, and neither is the Red Alliance actually. So both alliances have been a little bit down on Coral, as a little bit more down than we expected as this match gets started. We've got 6 and 4 on either side of the field, and now you're going to really see the strategies start to play out. So let's go ahead and meet these teams that are on this field, see what everyone is doing. So let's go ahead here with the number 1 seed alliance in red. They're captained by Team 1538, the Holy Cows, and really at this regional, there were 6 teams that were all very close in terms of performance. So it was a very difficult choice for them as the number 1 seed to figure out who to select. They pick up Coral from the ground, they do algae very effectively, they really do everything quite well. So they really had to find someone that would kind of complement them and really allow them to take this regional win in a convincing fashion. They would pick up Team 3255, the Super Nerds, who, as you can see right now, are really strong at algae in the net. So you can kind of see this Red Alliance have a bit of an algae focus, especially at the beginning of the matches while they're clearing their side of the field. So the Super Nerds, who won Port Hueneme just a couple weeks ago, were a very good choice for this Red Alliance. And they're going to be rounded out by Team 8119, who are a solid triple offense complement to this Red Alliance. So the Red Alliance very much built around this triple offense strategy. Meanwhile, on the Blue Alliance side, they're captained by Team 3128, the Aluminum Narwhals, who are probably the strongest Coral Cycler at the event, which is interesting because their algae capabilities are a little bit not great. I don't even believe they can put algae in the net. So they had to kind of cover that brief with Team 4738, the Patrobots. So these are 2 very strong robots. Again, the top kind of 6 robots at this regional, very close in terms of performance. So you're going to be seeing how the Red Alliance is the one that has the algae advantage, and you're going to be seeing that they're up at around this time in Teleop. That's going to change, and we're going to be seeing how that kind of progresses through this match. Rounding out this Blue Alliance, by the way, is Team 4984, Bullseye. So they're going to be down here, and they're going to be basically pressed up against this side of the field over here on the Red Alliance side. That's the station that 8119 and 1538 load from. 1538 like to get from the ground most of the time, but when they do go to the Coral Station, as you can see kind of right now, they do go from this station. So the Blue Alliance is kind of banking on the fact that if you leave 3128 and 4738 alone, they might have enough offensive output to basically overcome an undefended Super Nerds and a defended Tiger Robotics and 1538. So that's kind of the strategies that are at play here. There is one more interesting thing that comes into play during Endgame, but we'll get there when we get there. So right now you're seeing the Red Alliance has an algae advantage, and that's what's kind of pulling them ahead right now. The Blue Alliance isn't focusing on algae at the moment. 4738 can do it. They aren't the most accurate or fastest at it, so they really don't prefer to do it. So there's kind of a lot of algae over here on the Blue Alliance side. And meanwhile, on the red, they're almost done with algae. So on the Blue Alliance side, they've actually very nearly filled up that top level. The Red Alliance has just a tiny bit more left to go. So again, it's manipulating the real-time scores just a little bit, but the Red Alliance has a couple more 5-point scoring opportunities available compared to the Blue Alliance. And 8119 have already started focusing on level 3. So they kind of know that they're going to be filling up that top level. And so they're beginning to focus on kind of the next stage of the match for either of these alliances. So as we kind of progress through Teleop, everything switches to Coral focus now. as 3128 actually go put 2 inside of the processor. So they're kind of either just taking advantage of what's around them and just kind of taking 2 that were near them and putting them inside of the processor. They also know that that's kind of a zero-sum game. So what's interesting about algae is that that's actually denying the Red Alliance the opportunity to put that inside of the net. That was near where the Red Alliance was kind of hanging out. And you're actually going to see that the maneuver that 3128 is trying to prevent in doing that in just a little bit. So 3128 putting it inside of the processor, just trying to deny opportunities for this Red Alliance to try to steal them and put them inside of the net. So some really heads up driving there from the aluminum narwhals. And as we're progressing, we got more net stuff. So, but really the Red Alliance is focused on switching to coral. The Blue Alliance is actually starting to pull a little bit closer ahead as Patrobots put up, continue to put up more. These 2 robots really just finding a rhythm. Patrobots and the aluminum narwhals just going back and forth on either side of the field. It's a little bit more chaotic over here on the Red Alliance side, and you're definitely seeing that in the scores. Red Alliance has less on level 3 right now, so the Blue Alliance is starting to pull ahead as they just continue to pound those level 3 cycles. So again, it's just kind of progressing here. Aluminum narwhals again on L3. 1538 putting up the last L4 coral for the Blue Alliance, for the Red Alliance right there. So again, they waited a little bit of extra time to do that one, just to kind of surprise the Blue Alliance maybe a little bit. Again, anytime you can kind of mess with real-time scores, it's kind of advantageous because you look like you might be less ahead than you actually are. So right about here, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Super Nerds switch back to focusing on algae. So all of the coral posts that are convenient to the Super Nerds are filled up right now. So you can kind of definitely tell pre-match that the Red Alliance kind of divided up the reef amongst these teams, and you can see where exactly Super Nerds were supposed to be scoring. So you can see they're going back and forth to this coral station over and over again, and they have kind of got all of the convenient L3. So they're going to go back to switching to algae, or back to focusing on algae. And here's where things get interesting. So they once again grab the one that's convenient, that's right there for them. They're going to go back and do that. That maneuver is really interesting, and I think it opens up an exploration to something that might be bigger at a championship level when these reefs get filled even faster. So Super Nerds have got all of the algae that's near them. There's only 1 algae left on the Red Alliance side of the field. Actually, there's 2, but Super Nerds probably can't see that considering where their dive station position is. So they see a very, very nice opportunity right here, right in front of them. They know that they are playing triple offense, and so this side of the field, they can actually drive over to it. And they don't even have to leave their barge zone in order to get this. So even if they had a defender, they would be able to grab that and put it up. That is an algae that started on the Blue Alliance side. So not only are they scoring 4 points for the Red Alliance here, but they're also denying the Blue Alliance 4 points. So the differential becomes 8 points. So that's kind of a big swing right now, and a big kind of important score for the Red Alliance here as the Super Nerds put that algae up. They're going to get 1 more in this match. But I think that opens up an interesting exploration here. Let's say that the Red Alliance did have a defender on the other side, but Super Nerds knew they could grab that algae in under 3 seconds. So what would happen there is they would go grab it. They'd get a minor foul for having 2 robots on the other side, but if they did it in under 3 seconds, that's all they would get. A minor foul is 2 points to the opposite alliance. That net score that they would do, 4 points. And they're denying 4 points from the Blue Alliance. So the positive differential there is 6 points still, which is really interesting. So I think as algae starts to become the main differentiator between alliances, as teams start to really fill up these reefs, all the convenient locations on these reefs, I'm expecting maybe you could intentionally draw that foul and still come out on top. It's kind of like pinning someone during an amplification last year and intentionally taking just 1 foul off of that. So I think that was a really interesting kind of exploration here into maybe some of the strategies that we're going to see at very, very high level play once the algae wars really start. And that's something I kind of expect to happen as these reefs get filled really easily. So match is kind of coming to a close here. The Red Alliance is pretty convincingly ahead at this point, but the Blue Alliance is really starting to rally here as they start to score on finish off L3. Patrobot's missing a key coral right there. They have to go back and do it again. And they're going to finish off L3. And this is where things get interesting. So Super Nerds, 3255 have gone and lined up. So 20 seconds left, sonar pings going off, all that stuff. They have a very consistent climb, so they know they're just going to go back and do it. They have a decently comfortable lead right now, and they know it. So they're going to go climb, just ensure that they get those points. But what's going to happen here is I want to highlight the difference between 3255, who went and climbed, and Patrobots over here, who continued cycling. So Patrobots, their climb currently doesn't work in this match. So they know they are not climbing. So what they do is they just continue hammering L2. So in the time that Super Nerds has lined up and gone and climbed, Patrobots, 4738, put up 4 L2 coral. Doing the math there, every L2 coral is worth 3 points. So what that means is Patrobots actually put up more points during the time that Super Nerds were sitting there than had they just gone and lined up and climbed, which I think was really interesting. So that's kind of how this match goes. It ends up super close because of that. And as you're going to see, that climb, 3128 also does get the climb. The park from Patrobots is just barely not enough to take this match for the Red Alliance. So 195, 193, a really, really close match. The Red Alliance would actually pull further ahead in the next match and take victory of the regional, but this was a super close match, and I think an interesting exploration into, as we start to fill that coral more, what are we going to start to see in terms of algae wars? So let us know what you think of that in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the Fun Robotics Network YouTube channel. I've been Stanford with Fun. Thank you so much for watching an episode of FUNalysis.